At 70, Denzel Washington finally reveals what we all suspected. There are actors who entertain, there are actors who inspire, and then there is Denzel Washington, a man who transforms every room he enters, every screen he graces, every soul he touches. For over 4 decades, he has been America's moral compass wrapped in magnetic charisma, a beacon of excellence in an industry often drowning in compromise. But what shadows still dance behind those penetrating eyes that have witnessed triumph and torment in equal measure? What quiet battles rage beneath the surface of America's most trusted leading man? What price does a man pay to become not just a star, but a standard? If you've ever felt the magnetic pull of true artistry, the kind that reaches through decades and changes lives, hit that like button. This is a story worth preserving, a legacy that demands witness. Origin and early wound. Mount Vernon, New York, 1954. The scent of his mother's cooking fills a modest home where discipline and dreams collide in equal measure. Lennis Washington, a beautician with hands that could work miracles and a voice that could move mountains, watches her middle son with knowing eyes. She sees something in young Denzel, a fire that burns differently, brighter, more dangerously than his siblings. The house vibrates with contradictions. His father's Sunday sermons echo off walls that also witness weekday silences growing colder by the year. Reverend Denzel Washington Sr. carries the weight of saving other souls while losing his grip on his own family. The distance between father and son stretches like a chasm neither knows how to cross. Picture this: a 14-year-old standing in the hallway of Oakland Military Academy, surrounded by privilege he's never known, carrying wounds he can't yet name. The divorce papers are fresh ink on legal paper. The world feels upside down, gravity reversed. In this moment of abandonment, surrounded by the sons of doctors and lawyers, something hardens inside the preacher's boy, and a performer is born. Not from joy, but from the desperate need to become someone else, someone whole, someone worthy of staying. The Calling and First Sparks, Fordham University, 1977. The theater department buzzes with nervous energy as students prepare for Eugene O'Neill's The Emperor Jones. Overhead lights cast harsh shadows across faces painted with stage makeup and raw ambition. Denzel steps onto that small stage and something otherworldly occurs. The air itself seems to shift. This is not acting. This is possession, transformation, truth channeled through flesh and bone. His voice carries the weight of ancestors, the pain of broken homes, the fire of untapped potential. The audience falls silent, leaning forward as if pulled by invisible strings. Time bends around his presence. In that moment, under those harsh stage lights, surrounded by fellow students who suddenly feel like witnesses to something sacred, Denzel Washington doesn't just discover his calling. He surrenders to it completely, utterly, without reservation. The wounded boy from Mount Vernon dissolves like morning mist, replaced by an artist who will spend decades learning that authentic power comes not from hiding pain, but from alchemizing it into gold that others can spend. The Wilderness Years, New York City, early 1980s. Grimy subway platforms, slick with winter rain. Casting office waiting rooms that smell of desperation, stale coffee and broken dreams deferred but not abandoned. Denzel carries dog-eared scripts in a worn leather bag that once belonged to his father, his reflection multiplied in glass windows of buildings that might as well be fortresses. The rejections accumulate like snow, cold, silent, suffocating in their relentless consistency. Too intense for television, not commercial enough for film. What exactly are you supposed to be? The questions hang in fluorescent-lit offices like accusations. He sleeps on friends' couches, counts quarters for coffee and subway tokens, watches lesser talents climb ladders he can't seem to reach despite bloodying his knuckles trying. Some nights, the bottle calls louder than ambition, its amber promise of temporary peace almost irresistible. Some mornings, the mirror reflects a stranger he's not sure he recognizes, eyes too hollow, dreams too heavy, pride too wounded. The city seems designed to break him, to reduce him to just another casualty of artistic ambition. But in the darkness, something unbreakable takes root, a stubborn refusal to accept anything less than excellence, inherited from a mother who never settled, and a faith that demands the best of its believers. Breakthrough and Ascent. Saint Elsewhere, 1982. Dr. Philip Chandler walks hospital corridors with a dignity that commands immediate respect, speaks with an intelligence that demands undivided attention. Television audiences across America lean forward in their chairs, remote controls forgotten. Who is this actor who makes every line feel like poetry, every glance feel like prophecy, every moment feel essential? The phone calls begin like a gentle rain, then become a downpour. Agents circle like sharks sensing blood in water. Hollywood, that great machine of dreams and destruction, finally takes notice. But Denzel moves with calculated precision, choosing roles that matter over roles that merely pay. A soldier's story, power, cry freedom. Each performance builds upon the last, creating a fortress of credibility that money cannot buy and critics cannot topple. Glory arrives like destiny manifest. As Private Trip, he channels every rejection, every slight, every moment of being underestimated. The rawness is almost unbearable to witness. The Oscar comes in 1990, golden and gleaming in his hands, heavy with validation and possibility. But even as applause thunders around him, as cameras flash and tears fall, Denzel knows this is not the destination. It's merely permission to dig deeper, reach higher, risk more of himself than ever before. The cost of the crown. Fame arrives like a flood, washing away privacy, solitude, the blessed anonymity of normal life. Paparazzi lenses follow him to grocery stores, children's soccer games, quiet moments that no longer exist. Strangers feel entitled to his time, his energy, his very soul, as if his success has made him public property. The craft demands everything: emotion, memory, pieces of himself he can never fully reclaim once given to a role. Method becomes madness. Characters linger long after cut is called, their ghosts haunting his dreams. Late nights on set stretch into early mornings in edit rooms, perfectionism becoming both blessing and curse. Hotel rooms blur together in a kaleidoscope of beige walls and minibar temptations. Phone calls home become shorter, more distant. Conversations interrupted by the next meeting, the next flight, the next role that promises to be the one that truly matters. The man who can embody anyone on screen begins losing track of who he is when the cameras stop rolling, when the applause fades, when the only audience is the mirror. Success, he learns, is its own kind of prison. The golden handcuffs gleam beautifully, but they still bind with surprising strength. Public failure and reckoning. The drinking intensifies gradually, then suddenly. What began as social lubrication at industry parties becomes daily medicine, then daily necessity just to function. Vodka hides easier than whiskey. Mints mask better than mouthwash can clean. Close friends whisper concerns in corners. Industry insiders shake their heads with the sad knowledge of another talent circling the drain. The rumors circulate through Hollywood like wildfire. Is Denzel Washington falling apart? The whispers follow him to premieres, to meetings, to award shows where cameras search his face for signs of the fracture everyone senses, but no one dares acknowledge publicly. The wake-up call arrives not as scandal or tabloid headline, but as silence. The terrible quiet of a man looking in the mirror at 3 a.m. and not recognizing the reflection staring back. Rock bottom, he discovers, has a peculiar gift. It stops the fall completely, forces a moment of absolute clarity. In that stillness, in that moment of complete and brutal honesty, Denzel makes a choice that will define the rest of his life. He puts down the bottle with hands that shake slightly but hold steady. He picks up responsibility like a weight he's finally strong enough to carry. He walks back into the arena, not as a perfect man, but as a human one committed to growth, accountability, and the daily choice of sobriety, love, family, and redemption. Pauletta Pearson enters his life like sunrise after the longest night, slow and warm and utterly transformative. An actress herself, she sees through the celebrity veneer to the man beneath, flawed, searching, beautiful in his brokenness, and brave in his healing. Their love story unfolds not in grand gestures worthy of his films, but in quiet moments that matter more. Morning coffee shared in comfortable silence, children's laughter echoing through their home, prayers whispered over dinner tables where phones stay silent. 4 children arrive like anchors to what matters most: John David, Katia, Olivia, and Malcolm, each one a mirror reflecting back the man he wants to become rather than the star the world demands. Pauletta becomes his true north, the constant that allows him to navigate Hollywood's treacherous waters without losing his soul to the undertow. Faith deepens from performance to practice, from Sunday show to daily surrender. The church services become non-negotiable, sacred space in a life filled with artificial light. The man who once ran from his father's pulpit finds peace in its embrace, understanding finally that strength comes not from perfection, but from the courage to keep trying. Love, it turns out, is both destination and journey, both answer and question, both the healing and the reason to heal. Empire, craft, and legacy. The roles multiply and deepen like rings in an ancient tree. Malcolm X's righteous fire burning through every frame, Training Day's corrupted soul searching for redemption in all the wrong places, Fence's wounded patriarch trying to build walls that protect rather than imprison. Behind the camera, Denzel discovers new dimensions of storytelling, directing with the same intensity he brings to acting, the same commitment to truth that has always driven him. The Denzel Washington Family Foundation writes checks that change lives, but more importantly, invests time and presence in futures that might otherwise be forgotten. The Boys and Girls Club receives not just money but genuine care, not just celebrity endorsement, but true partnership. Young actors seek his mentorship, finding not just career guidance, but life wisdom earned through trial and error, success and failure, pride and humility. Awards accumulate like evidence of a life well lived. Oscars, Tonys, lifetime achievement honors that fill shelves and acceptance speeches. But the true legacy lives in transformed lives, elevated standards, proof that integrity and success need not be enemies in a world that often insists they are. At 70, he moves with the confidence of a man who has faced his demons and emerged victorious, scarred but stronger, wounded but wise. What shadows still dance behind those penetrating eyes that have captivated audiences for generations? Perhaps they are not shadows at all, but depth, the accumulated wisdom of a man who has lived fully, failed honestly, and risen repeatedly with grace. Denzel Washington's greatest performance may not be any single role etched in film history, but the daily choice to become worthy of the gifts he's been given. His story whispers a truth we all desperately need to hear. Greatness is not the absence of struggle, but the transformation of struggle into purpose, pain into power, wounds into wisdom. What battles are you fighting in the shadows of your own life? What gifts are you called to steward with the courage of conviction? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear today.